Last time on Square Roots. There is a castle in the sky. Chaz likes to go there with his friends. The corridors will never end. Not in his castle in the sky. There is a man with zombie head.
All right.
He wants to see
We
who's
get it.
not dead.
Please.
He's gross
Please
to
stop.
see, and he
We get
hurts
it.
with
This
touch.
is torture.
Baby flesh eyes.
This song is longer than the
He
fucking
hates
Sky
him
Castle.
very much.
Hey, guys, it's our 100th episode.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the 100th episode of Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. How do you guys feel about 100 episodes?
That's a lot of episodes.
We're finally in
It's a
syndication.
Age
Yeah.
is just a number, man. Like, so what? I don't
Feels
feel
good.
old, you know? Podcast doesn't feel old.
We're
Age is just a number.
finally old enough to make sex jokes.
Ooh,
There
finally.
have to be 100?
Yeah.
know,
Yep.
I used to think that the sex jokes were my fault, but last week proved that, it's not.
Last
It's
week
not
we
me.
went into a literal vagina in a game. How were we not going to make sex jokes?
Mhm.
That's a good point. Hey, what even is this show?
Oh,
This
yeah,
is-
we should probably start the show now.
Yeah, we talk about entering vaginas.
No.
No, we're
I mean,
Who are
we
the
were
hosts?
pod-
Who are the
Well,
hosts?
I guess we do talk about that. That's not the theme of the show. The theme of the show is we play and talk about classic RPG games. Or
Who are you?
I'm sorry, RPG games. I've never played one. RPGs.
Who are you?
RPG games is redundant.
Who
And
are
do
you?
we do that while drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon, the
Tonight we do.
hipsteriest of beers?
And tonight we do
Oh, John has a
So,
Red
Jim.
Bull or something.
Who are
Rockstar. What?
you? You haven't named anyone's names yet, or
Oh,
everything's
yeah. We all have
upside
names.
down.
We're individuals. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Zant,
Hey, it's me, Matthew Van Zant.
John Rykeros Brandon,
LaRoof is on fire.
and Vanessa.
We don't need no water. Let the burn. I bleeped it for radio.
Motherfucker.
You know what? We are 100 episodes old. You can just say it. Just
Yeah.
say it.
The radio version, they did like a donkey sound instead of the
Dude,
swear.
We
Terrible.
don't need
A
no
donkey
water. I'm
sound?
Vanessa. Burn.
And as we explained before, we play classic RPG games. In tonight's case, we are finishing up our Phantasy Star 4 series. So we're finishing Phantasy Star 4.
Fancy Star.
Fancy Star 4. We're playing from the introduction of Seth to the end of the game.
Final
For Seth.
fancy star.
So, Seth is sure going to be in our party for a long time, right?
He's
He's
the
got a
best.
rad
Yeah, you can tell.
mustache. He must be. And by Seth,
Yeah.
do you mean Ron Swanson?
He looks like a karate Ron Swanson.
I like to think of him as the real protagonist of the game.
The first real protagonist.
He certainly does
guys,
get ripped.
Before we get into Seth and how much we love him and how much of a permanent fixture he is in the party, let's talk about how we leveled up this week.
Ooh.
Vanessa, why don't you go first?
Okay. I've been playing a game called Prey
Ooh, me too.
by Bethesda Softworks and Arcane Studios. And I think it's too spooky.
Aw, do you really?
Yeah.
You don't like it?
It has a strong survival horror element to it, which I'm not enjoying because I like to play games to relax me. And what relaxes me is being as a god to my weak enemies and mowing them down or sneaking past them with little trouble whatsoever. I like Dishonored very much because I could knock out everyone and be the only conscious human in the whole city of Dunwall. But Prey is a little bit hard. So I actually ended up kind of messing myself up and recycling some weapons, which I ought not to have recycled. So I started over, and I find that after starting over, I'm enjoying it a lot more because I'm not as scared, and I feel better at the game.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent work.
Thank you.
I also find the game to be frustrating. I was playing it the other night, and my daughter walked in, and she's like, "Dad, why are you mad?" I was like, "Oh, this game is just frustrating. I'm okay."
Like, I understand that's what they were going for, but if I put it on easy mode, I want it to be like capital E, easy.
Yeah, man, I have it on easy mode, and I die all the time.
Me too. And when I put it on easy mode, they're like, survival won't be a problem. But it is a problem. Look, I'm not very good at video games. I just need something that will be a little bit more forgiving. But all that said, it does have one of the best openings I've played of a game in a very, very long time. John,
it's really
how
good.
did you... Well, actually, let me go straight to Jim, because Jim's been playing Prey too, and maybe he wants to piggyback on what I just said. Jim.
I will. I have also been playing Prey. I did not get to the point where I felt like I needed to start over, but as with a lot of these games where you have to selectively choose like skills and things to level up, I'm sitting on probably like 23 of the neuro mods, which are like the upgrade points, simply because I can't decide how to spend them. I have an issue with that. So, but the game is hard. Like, all of the enemies are able to kill you relatively quickly, so you have to be very selective with how you engage them. And also, I end up jumping a lot in the game because the whole gimmick to the kind of basic enemy is that they can disguise themselves as other objects. So you might walk by a mug and then it'll transform into an alien and try to kill you. But you can upgrade yourself with skills, so you can also turn into a mug and like roll across the floor so enemies can't see you. Or like turn yourself into a banana peel or something.
Could you get a skill that traps an enemy in their form and then be like, "Look, I'm drinking out of you. I'm drinking out
I
of you.
would
How do you
love
like
that."
now?" And then like smash them.
But no.
I wish you could do that.
There is a glue gun, and you can glue them in place.
Is that fun?
And the glue gun is pretty cool because you can use it to build like walkways along walls and climb up walls to places you can't reach. Or the whole game takes place on a space station, and certain areas are like their hole breaches that you can't reach, so you can go out in space, seal the breaches with your glue gun, and then access new areas, which is pretty neat.
Jim, did you come across the snowman made out of glue gun material named Gluey McGlueface?
Yes, I did. That's in like the research area in the hardware labs, right?
I broke him apart with my hammer because I wanted the things he was made of.
So did I. He's dead.
Wow.
R.I.P.
Is that Jim's only
Gluey.
level up, or does Jim have a...
I went shopping yesterday and I bought four pairs of new shoes.
Whoa,
and a bunch
big
of shirts.
spender.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna try to get into running, so I bought some like kind of expensive running shoes that I feel kind of buyer's remorse about because I don't like running. But we'll see if I can justify
It was an
the purchase.
aspirational purchase.
It was. We'll see. Maybe I can guilt myself into running. John, how did you level up?
Well, Jim, I don't define myself by what I consume, and I don't take pride in the things I buy. But I
Is
bought a
this
gaming
John or
PC.
Tyler Durden?
I totally bought a gaming PC, and it's great, guys. Consumption
You've been
is
waiting for that
fun.
PC for like a year.
Since 2014, I've been trying to get it.
What is it? What'd you get?
It's got a Ryzen 7 AMD processor. It has a RX 580 AMD graphics card. And so it's pretty powerful. It's like higher, it's mid-high, I guess.
Mid-high?
And, yeah, it's not like Titan X or 1080 Ti's or anything crazy. But I'm not running 4K. I'm just playing on a 1080p screen. So everything runs in ultra at 60 frames a second.
So what kind of currency are you going to mine with that thing?
None.
You'll never become a millionaire if you don't mine any currency, John.
Well, I was never going to become a millionaire anyways, so it's fine. But I've been playing a few games. There's a boring one that I've probably sunk since I got my PC 5 or 6 hours into called PUBG, which
Never heard of
Vanessa's
that.
very sick of hearing about. Or Player Unknown's Battleground, a 100-player battle royale where you all parachute onto an island. And I was playing that. But I also, there's a game I bought on sale but didn't work on my laptop. I bought it like a couple of years ago called Spin Tires. And this game is about driving old Soviet four-wheel drive trucks around in the mud and trying to get from one point to another. It's sort of like, do you ever play Trials, that bike game? Like Trials HD or Trials Evolution?
That series is great.
It's a 3D, so it's not like 2D like Trials. It's 3D, but it's sort of like getting point to point, and you have to drive through really bad mud, and you're trying to not get your car stuck, and it reminds me a lot of Trials. It's really fun. And the physics of the mud are super cool, and it looks really nice. And yeah, I put some time into that. I also put some time into Warframe because my friend Julio likes it, and I wanted to play a game with him.
Cool. How do you like Warframe?
It's okay.
You know what? I was also going to say, when you brought up PUBG, it made me think I started playing Fortnite too, which is like PUBG's competitor.
I got a kill in PUBG last night. I almost got 2. I was so close getting 2 in a row in the same fight.
Exciting.
I know. I was like, what is even happening? But this guy was like trying to snipe at me, but his back was against this bright rock face, and so he was like totally visible. I just like I didn't even have a scope or anything. I just like boop boop boop, and he was dead. And Matthew, how did you level up?
Well, I have been watching a television program and enjoying it very much, and that is called Dragonball Super.
Is that new?
No. In fact, I've leveled up watching this show before in the past. So I am
Aren't there
like
1,000 episodes?
I am there's 129 Dragon Ball Super episodes, and that's what I'm watching. That is the currently running series.
Okay.
But it's only currently running until I believe tomorrow, and then its last episode will air. So I have decided to catch up, and it is just as fun and silly and over the top as ever. That show is delightful. They really kind of figured out the formula to an extent. They don't do 150 episode sagas anymore. Now it's 20 or 30 episode little series, and they tend to be a lot more quick and fun.
I was very amazed that Vanessa knows more about Dragon Ball than I do.
Why?
Well, I'm a Dragon Ball expert. My speciality is Krillin, the most powerful human on planet Earth. But his power pales in comparison to the various Saiyan and androids that inhabit the planet of Dragon Ball world. Krillin is great because he doesn't have a nose. And he makes it work anyway.
He's bald.
He is bald.
And he's married
to a
an
robot.
android.
And
they have a child somehow.
Don't know quite how that happened.
Oh.
And they named their child Trunks.
He was in the...
Because they love elephants.
No.
I only know about Dragon Ball from that really great live action movie they did that everybody loves.
I literally have never been able to sit through that thing.
It's terrible.
I did some work on that one.
Ooh.
Yeah, sorry.
So we can blame you for how
It's
bad
John.
it is.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're not happy. We're not happy with you now, John, this was a bad idea.
I'm sorry. Didn't that one have that... Was that the one that had the First Nations actor from Vancouver in it? Like the guy who's in Da Vinci City Hall and Intelligence and all that? Wasn't he playing like the martial
Nobody
arts
knows.
master?
Chow Yun Fat, I believe, who played Master
Oh, okay.
Roshi.
No,
He did.
I'm thinking of Dancing Ninja, another one we worked on at the same time with. That one had Knight Rider guy.
David Hasselhoff?
Yeah, that one had David Hasselhoff. It was very similar though.
That's weird.
I'm not sure it's Chow Yun Fat, actually. I'm going to Google that shit.
I think you're right.
Chow Yun Fat, it sure was. And they cast a white boy as Goku, and a
Right,
white
of
girl
course.
as Bulma, and a white guy as
Uh-huh.
Piccolo.
Uh-huh.
Chi-Chi was played
Not
by
even
an
a
Asian
green guy.
actress,
Come
at
on.
least.
Green face.
God, that movie was a piece of shit. All right, anyway. Yeah, Dragon Ball. It's fun. And it's about to end, so I'm glad that I caught up on it before they launch the next movie next year or later this year, and then launch whatever the next
Can I
series
ask
is
you
gonna be.
one question, Matt?
So,
Does
yes.
this Dragon Ball series have a part where the hero powers up his most powerful attack,
I want you to know that this is
And
the exact same joke
he-
you made last time.
blasts it at the enemy, and there's a giant explosion, and then the hero and
Vanessa,
his
can
allies
you do
all
me a
stand there
favor?
and they go, because they're so exhausted.
Can you maybe just go
from
get
the
yourself
effort,
kidnapped so you can tell some new stories?
of this attack, and they think it's
Now,
been successful.
I do have a serious
the
question
smoke
before we go to the
clears.
quest
Why
log.
don't you
And you see that the villain is still standing there, and the attack has been entirely ineffective. Does it have that?
That sounds really cool and dramatic. Does that actually happen?
No, it's never happened in a X-Men. Oh no, sorry, not X-Men. Dragon Ball.
X-Balls.
I'm doing some X-Men shopping.
All right.
Da-da-da.
Jim, how did you level up? Is that what's
I
happening?
think we're all about to level up because we're going to talk about the end of Phantasy Star IV.
Yeah, you are.
It's not the quest hog. It's not the quest fog. It's the quest log.
Quest log.
Yeah.
I like it. You guys did good. I'm proud.
All
of
right,
you
well, we played to the end of the game. That's it, everybody. Happy 100th,
Yay.
happy 100th episode.
Da 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 da.
Why? Why hail
We're
to the
No, let's
presidents
talk about
now.
Seth.
Yeah, Seth is great. We meet the best character in the game. His name is Seth. He is a traveling archaeologist, and that's what he is, that's who he is, and that's all he is.
And
Absolutely.
he's very
Nothing
polite. He's
suspicious.
also very polite, and he is just oozing
Mhm.
sexuality.
Oh God! Just the second I saw him, that longish hair, that mustache, that headband, that slightly
Mhm.
vacant smile.
And Chaz is feeling it.
He's feeling
Yeah.
Chaz, I'd say more because I think he kind of tries a little too hard with Chaz, and Chaz is a little like, you can dial it down a couple of notches there.
Seth is a DTF down to find some important artifacts in this temple.
He sure is. And he knows Chaz is just the man to get him there, all the way there.
He's so strong, and he's so good with
he
his
trains
sword.
all the time.
So I kind of like this mechanic. As you progress through the dungeon, you just have a character in your party that tells you how great you are. It's like, you're just doing such a good job going through this dungeon. You're so big and strong, and fighting those monsters. How do you even do it, Chaz? And Chaz is like, duh, lots of training. It takes a lot of work to be this good.
My
And
sword's
the rest
really
of the
sharp.
party is like, what are you talking about? You aren't even like the most powerful of us.
So the objective here in this temple is to find the arrow prism, which will somehow lead the way to Raikoro. So we have to... This dungeon isn't super... It's kind of confusing, but it's not super long.
Yeah, this dungeon just had, I would say, the highest encounter rate in the game. For me,
Yeah.
it was every couple of steps, and I was swearing at the TV. Or if you watch our Square Roots podcast YouTube channel, you can listen to me swearing at the TV going through this stupid
that
dungeon.
sounds like a nice time.
Yeah.
I was running away from enemies here.
Do you ever not run away? Because I don't think I've ever had it not work.
I've had it not work once.
Okay.
So we get
this
through
dungeon
the
is a cave tile set full of hard monsters, but they're, I don't know, I found the weapons factory was the place to go to level up here. Like, you don't get any money anymore, really, from random encounters, so it was kind of wasted time.
Yeah. Eventually, we do find the arrow prism, and once we do, Seth has a real problem.
Well, hold on. Before that,
Yeah.
Did you notice something weird about Seth? That all his spells were like kill and death and murder everybody.
I didn't think that was weird. I mean, lots of people have instant death spells in this game.
Yeah.
No one
what are you
has
talking about?
spells called death. Oh no, actually, Alice had a spell
Yeah.
called death, right?
Seth
She was
is
the
the
only
new
one.
Alice.
Yeah, plus he's an archaeologist, man. Those guys are deadly.
It's
Yeah.
true. I
He's
have
an
seen Indiana Jones
He's an
and the King of the
archaeologist.
Crystal Skull.
Yeah. Is there something wrong with Seth?
I think he's got kind of like a problem inside.
I know he does not have the most masculine of screams.
Wake me up inside. Do you think that song "Wake Me Up Inside" played
think it
as
did.
this happened?
me up.
Me too.
Wake up.
This is the most new metal moment of any JRPG
It
we've
is.
played, I think.
It
Save
is.
me from the nightmare I've become. Wake me up inside.
Exactly. This is exactly what happens.
Yeah,
And-
Seth grabs his eye and then his body rips apart and there's a big dark force
Right.
person underneath.
Yeah, and Dark Force is
Mhm.
super ripped
Mm-hmm.
and on a beach. So I think this counts as
Yeah,
a
what's
beach
up with the
episode.
beach?
I don't know.
He
We
is
just
on a
get- you
beach,
get
which
out of-
really.
And the party is like, was Dark Force pretending to be Seth the whole time? That's just wrong.
Yeah.
So do you think Seth knew he
for
was Dark
sure.
Force or
I thought no. That's what I kind of like the idea in my head canon that he just sort of assumed this identity and the identity didn't realize what he truly was until the
Ooh,
horrible
that's
moment.
like that's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
Lovecraftian.
terrible.
Uh-huh. That's pretty Star Trek Discovery.
I'm pretty sure that
Spoiler.
he knew exactly what he was doing the whole time. He just put on his Seth suit and he's like, you know what? These kids are causing me some trouble. I'm going to get to know them, and then I'll be able to exploit their weaknesses and finally defeat them in battle.
Why
Yeah.
didn't we notice that Seth had blade arms before?
Yeah, that should
I
have been
thought
a
it hurt when I
giveaway.
shook his hand.
Yes. Speaking of cool monster designs, which we were not speaking of, Seth, after he turns into Super Beach Dark Force, is the most rad monster design in the game.
Yeah, he's really cool. He's like he's like kneeling, right? He's a tall monster guy with a blade hand who's kneeling and on the beach.
Having a good time.
He has a ring in his hand. He's proposing.
Oh, that's nice. God only knows what I'd do without you.
I don't understand the function of the Dark Force at this point. Like, is it just going to keep popping up until, like, if we were to not go after the profound darkness, would there just be more and more Dark Forces?
You know who
that
knows
would
the answer
be
to
the
that?
people? LaRoof?
LaRue knows the answer. And Matthew.
Well, let's go talk to LaRoof. So when we this, by the way, there's a recurring like motif in these games of you finding an item and it showing Chaz holding it up as high as he can like a big boy, and then it glowing really brightly. This time he holds up the arrow prism and it shoots a light into space, which we're told Rykaros is at the end of.
Well, it
So
shoots
we
a
gotta-
trajectory. And they're like, well, I guess
Yeah.
it must be somewhere along this path.
Yeah, I guess like it's I mean, it just happens to be directly above you.
And Chaz is like, but that goes all the way
Yeah,
through the sky.
as if he hasn't
Chaz,
been
it's
to
another
outer
Yeah,
Goes
thank
all
you.
the way
Works.
through the
Been
sky.
to outer space several times, and yet he's like, how can that be?
He's I think the least smart protagonist we've had in any of these games.
And he seems to get worse as the game proceeds.
Yeah. I think like the writers just got tired of writing for him.
He's regressing after his friend died.
So we have to get in a spaceship, and Ren tells us where Rykaros is, which is, I guess, it's basically that Planet X conspiracy I've talked about a couple times on the podcast.
Oh,
as
yeah.
like a rogue
You're
planet
right.
that comes around every 1,000 years.
Isn't it Planet X going to smash into Earth
That's the
at some
idea.
point?
Mhm.
That's the theory, man. That's why all the rich people are holding up in their bunkers and hoarding their gold.
Did
up.
someone tell them that if another planet smashes into this planet, it doesn't matter how deep your bunker is because the planet will be go bye-bye?
Listen, rich people gonna be rich.
Okay. They are better off getting spaceships and going to a different
You know
planet
what
is how
I'm
telling
gonna
them.
do? As soon as Planet X gets really close, I'm gonna like take a plane and fly to Planet X, and then I'll be on that planet when it knocks into this one, and I'll be fine because I'll like go to the other side of it.
Well, I'm going to hitch a ride on Elon Musk's little Tesla that's floating out in space and drive off
that's
to
a great
Mars.
idea.
Yeah, I love it. Are you doing that right now?
No, because Planet X won't be back for another 1,000 years.
The Tesla is gonna come back, right? It's coming back, right,
It's,
guys?
that's how orbits
Yeah.
work, Vanessa. That's
It's
how
coming
orbits
back.
work.
Why did they do
Yeah,
that?
don't worry. Starman will come back.
Why is that
Well,
a
who
thing that
d-
happened?
Because it was like, I thought it was cool, actually. Like, I don't love Elon Musk, but I don't know. I
Man
thought
has
it was fun.
always done
Shooting his
things
little
just
card in
because they
space.
can.
Yeah, it's true. Man, the greatest game.
Man,
Man, the greatest
The
RPG.
real monster.
you're a strange animal. You're a strange animal. That's what I know. All right. So we go to this secret fourth planet, Planet X.
Hey.
Yeah, we go to Nobu, and we enter a like
This
a temple,
planet
like
is
a tower.
a galaxy.
No, there is a galaxy on this planet.
Yeah,
LaRoof
I don't understand
is
it.
a galaxy,
To be honest, this game makes less and less sense the more I play it.
which is how I would say this game gets disc 2 crazy. It doesn't get that notch to disc 3 crazy. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that as soon as you get onto the frozen planet where you smosh a temple and you meet some giant penguins,
Smosh?
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, there's 3 temples or 3 towers, and I forget what this one's called. It's like the Tower of Learning or something.
This is the silence, isn't it?
Oh, silence. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's silence, strength, and courage.
And there's the anger one too, right?
Where's no? I don't think so. There's strength and courage.
strength, courage.
Don't you have to come back here though to fight Alice?
No, Alice is in the Esper Mansion.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, cut that. I'm a dummy.
Stupid Jim. God.
So, John, you think that galaxy that we're standing on top of is LaRoof?
Yeah. LaRoof is this weird anthropomorphic galaxy with like big happy face.
I don't remember a happy face.
It doesn't
yeah.
have a happy face. It doesn't have a happy. So okay. So we get to Rykros. We land at this Temple of Silence, and we walk inside like this temple. And on the floor, we step onto this pad, and suddenly the room goes black, and you're standing on top of looks like a Milky Way. Looks like a galaxy. And the galaxy that you were standing on top of is LaRoof.
Oh, the galaxy is the roof?
Yeah.
That's the words you're saying, John. They
So-
do not
Yeah,
make
John,
sense.
how can we be standing on the
2
roof? We're obviously
Of the
standing
roof.
on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing
Come on,
on the
party
ceiling.
people. Throw your hands in the air. Come on, party people. Wave them like you don't care.
I'm surprised you like that. I feel like it was
Me
probably,
too.
in retrospect, super homophobic. Super.
Oh, that whole album is anyway. But I was 16. I was going through my rebellious phase.
Yeah.
I really like the Bloodhound Gang.
He was rebelling against
so,
himself,
I did too.
yo.
Exactly. LaRoof. Jim, do you want to explain his info dump here, or shall I?
He doesn't actually give you a lot of information at this point. He tells you that you're protectors, and that before he can give you any more information, he needs you to go to the Strength and Courage Towers and face the Guardians there, and then he'll tell you.
Okay.
Then he'll dump some exposition on you. So we have to go defeat the Guardians at these towers.
I kind of liked that Chaz
you
is like,
get, like,
is this a test? And he's like, yup.
Yep. He's like, yep. And so you get like the crystal towers. It reminds me a bit of Secret of Mana. Had like an area like this. Everywhere is like shiny, pretty
it was
crystal.
Purple and pretty and nice.
Shiny, pretty.
And you're fighting these jerks that are like two horse skulls fused together that blast you. I didn't like those guys. And there's
Are
also
you talking about the bosses?
No, like they're just random encounters that are two skulls together, and one mouth has a laser blast and one's like a tongue. And there's another one which is like this head that's zipping in and out of reality, and it's only weak against Chaz's sword and the tusk. I don't like that guy either. And magic. Anyway, so let's go to this Tower of Strength.
Yeah, the Tower of Strength is another, like, it's like a pinkish environment.
You're a pinkish environment. You know what else is like a pinkish environment? The Garrowburg Tower.
The what?
The
you
tower
mean
from
the
last time.
gratuitous tower?
Oh yeah.
How is it called gratuitous? It's Garrowburg.
Don't question our ways. Mr. was asleep at the time.
Yeah.
I totally was.
How dare you?
But Matthew, at least hey, we're in the 100th episode. We can call back to earlier episodes now. At least he didn't fall asleep during an episode and remain asleep for
I
the
mean, I was asleep during an episode.
Yeah, but not like
So-
on the air.
That's true. So, Crystal Tower.
Back
there
in my
is nothing
divorce days.
interesting about that tower. You basically go there. The only thing is, I think when you get to the top, they're fighting. This strength guy is fighting some wizards and is like, "Die, wizards, die."
Are those the Dark
Why?
Force followers?
Why wizards? Why?
Yeah. It's like the those three. That one guy's a lot like the three that you fought in the air castle. Those jerks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you get one of those. You see it get killed by the Guardian of the Strength Tower. What's his name? Guardian of the Strength Tower?
Devars.
Defars? Oh, he sang Lady in Red, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And there's nothing really... he's a physical attack guy. This was an easy boss fight for me. I assume for the rest of you, because, yes, it was easy for the rest of you.
He's really silly looking, too. It's not a great enemy design.
Yeah, he's like a big glowy bit with some armor floating around him.
Yeah, it's lame.
Yeah, there's not. They were like, "Oh, we need to pad out another
They
5
really
hours on this RPG.
didn't.
Let's add 2 towers." Although this whole chunker took me 2 hours, so like maybe 20 minutes per dungeon.
Yeah, it's really short.
Yeah,
Or it can be.
yeah. So he's like, "Oh, well, you did well." Yeah, he's like, "Your challenge is to fight me, so hopefully you don't die."
That's a bad challenge.
And, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
your challenge is I'm going to murder you unless you can defend yourself?
Yep. And so yeah, Eldebarge or Chris DeBarge is he just fights with physical attacks, and then you go to the other tower, which is identical, and that boss is Hello St. Louis, and he's fighting one of those 2 heads that I was telling you about. He zaps that when you come in, and this guy is fights you with magic. and is weak against physical attacks.
This is just like what happened in Chrono Trigger. Do you remember we went to the place and there was like Sword Guy and there was Magic Vampire?
Yeah.
Oh,
Magic
Flea and
Vampire.
Slash and Ozzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't remember
And I
that.
guess LaRoof is the Aussie in this scenario.
And also
Yeah.
on fire. Sorry.
But you don't have to fight. Well, I guess you don't have to fight Ozzy either.
That's right.
so-
He just falls down a
Yeah.
hole.
Yeah,
Oh.
he does. So, yeah. So, Jim, we kill, what was his name? DeVry? Saluz.
We killed Devars and Saluz,
Mm-hmm.
who are the guardians of the Strength and Courage Towers, respectively, and then we go back to the Silence Tower, and this is where we get the big info dump.
Yay!
Which is like, it's a real, like, in the beginning kind of a speech. But you learn that there was a spiritual being that created the light and the darkness, and they fought for a long time, and then the light won and banished the darkness, and every 1,000 years, the barrier gets thin enough to allow, like, darkness to come through, which is the dark force.
Yeah, and what I like is they're basically saying that's what happened in the past games, but this time at the end of Phantasy Star 2, that one planet got destroyed, and the planet was part of the system keeping Dark Force at bay. And when that
Parma.
the three planets are basically like the Horcrux or something. They're the thing that keeps the evil, and one of the three planets got blowed up, so now the evil can come as much as it wants. That's why we're fighting Dark Force over and over again. That's why this
Yeah.
is the end of the Phantasy Star series. Like, this
That's
game was
right.
made to finish them.
The evil can come wherever it wants.
Oh boy. Ay, ay, ay.
Getting
so,
dark force all over you.
That's what you said.
in Power Rangers, remember the guy, that weird head guy that talks to the Power
Yeah.
Rangers?
Zordon.
Zordon?
Yeah, so I figure LaRoof is the Zordon, right? Like, he's advising you, although he sort of comes too late. I feel like he should have been earlier in the game a bit.
Did we ever even see LaRoof?
We just talked about
He's
it.
the
He's
galaxy.
the galaxy.
I know. I'm saying he's the galaxy. I don't get it.
He's the galaxy. But LaRoof is the cipher for the Great Light, which is the opposite of the Profound Darkness, and we don't get to meet the Great Light.
This is where
This is
Chaz
my
freaks
very
out.
favorite part of
Yeah.
the game. This might be my favorite part of any RPG ever. Upon hearing that he has been chosen by the light to be its champion and protect the galaxy, and the light has bestowed this mission upon it, Chaz says, "I'm not going to fight for no mission."
Wait, there's two negatives there, right?
Uh,
So what he's
and
saying
also,
is
you
he
can't
is
fight for a mission. I don't know that that's a proper way to
not
structure
going
that
to
sentence.
not
No,
fight.
he just flips
for
out.
a
He's like,
mission.
"I'm not going to fight for no mission."
This whole goddamn hissy fit that he throws for no goddamn reason. Just what?
You know, at least Zidane had the excuse of finding out that he was a clone, and when that was thrown out. And, so that, because Zidane went through the exact same thing as Chaz did, but I feel like Zidane's, which we got annoyed at in Final Fantasy IX, this one's worse because Chaz doesn't really have a super good reason.
No,
for freaking
because
out, other
this is
than,
what he's
I
been
would be
doing
freaked
anyway,
out by it.
though. It's like the whole time he's been trying to
Yeah.
defeat the Dark Force, and now he's like, "I ain't gonna defeat no Dark Force. You can't make me fight it. No way."
No
Maybe
way,
he's upset
no
because he had to kill
how.
Seth, his one
is it?
fan.
Yeah, he probably is. I think there was something
What
between
is it
them.
that makes him? Why does he just decide? Nah, I don't want to save the universe.
He's really mad because he
know.
doesn't get to meet the light. He's like, what, the light just gets to do whatever it wants and I have to fight its stupid battles and take out the garbage and do all the dishes by myself?
God, Mom. I mean, LaRoof.
I think that Chaz has recognized that winners write history, and so he's like, well, if these two brothers fought, how do we know the light is even the good guy and the darkness is the bad guy? Because we know the light trapped its
Ooh.
brother when it defeated him, So who's to say we're on the right side here? I think Chaz is philosophizing, and it's just coming out a little bit awkwardly when he says, "I ain't gonna fight for no mission."
That would
I
have
wanna play the
actually
game
been
Vanessa's
an
describing.
interesting conversation.
Vanessa, write Fantasy Star 5.
Fancy Star 5. No mission.
No mission for old Chaz. So, yeah, we gotta destroy the profound darkness, which is like the thing that's birthing all the dark forces.
But before we do, we have to convince Chaz to stop being such a little dickhead.
How do you do that?
So Rune tells him that he's like, "Hey, Chaz, hey, buddy, I got something for you, but we gotta go to the Esper Mansion to get it." And so we go to the Esper Mansion, and he tells him that the magic sword, another stupid ass made up word, the Alcydion, is waiting for him in it.
Alcydion.
That's what I said.
No, Jim, it's the Alcydion.
Oh, sorry, I meant Alcydion.
Yeah, no, Alcydion.
Oh, Alcydion.
Alcydion.
Okay. So they make Chaz go into
What's
this
it
cave
called?
by himself to get it. It's called the magic sword. And there's not much to the cave, really.
Is this the cave where Luke Skywalker went in?
Basically,
and, like, cut his
they're
own head off?
like,
Probably.
"You have to go by yourself."
I could have known that.
Before Chaz goes in there, there's that old man we ran into before, and he looks at Rune and he's like,
Seth?
"You're not gonna give it to this youth, are you?" And Rune's like, "I'm gonna give it to him." So I was getting kind of excited,
Yeah.
but it didn't pan out.
You know what I just realized?
What's that?
What happened to Seth?
Well, Matthew, what do you think happened to Seth? Let's hear
Wait.
your. Yeah,
Did
Matthew,
he run
tell
away
us what,
when we
what
got
do you think
attacked by
happened?
Dark Force 3?
He's in our hearts.
Yeah, Seth is in our hearts,
Oh, did Dark Force kill him?
Kind of.
in a way.
Why are you guys being so
Well-
cryptic?
You can't
No,
destroy
that's
an
right.
idea. And Seth is the sexiest idea.
Yeah, there's a Seth that lives
Right,
on
it's like
in
that
all
fan
of us.
theory that Indiana Jones is just a code name that's given to a series of archaeologists.
What?
Then why is
No.
it always played by the same man? That doesn't make sense.
I had that James Bond theory independent of other people, but I think like everyone had that theory.
Seth is with Han now, teaching
No,
archaeology
no.
at the university.
I miss
Matthew?
him. Yes.
Seth turned into Dark Force. Seth was Dark Force.
What?
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Seth like erupted and his body exploded and Dark Force was inside on the beach.
He grabbed his eye and he goes,
All that was left was his
"I."
mustache.
So Dark Force killed Seth?
No. Dark Force was Seth.
Dark Force put on its Seth suit and a little mustache. It pasted
and a
on the
little headband.
mustache and put on his headband and went and
I find this very hard to believe.
Yeah,
It's
that's-
actually
but-
a metaphor for how easily we can all be corrupted by the dark forces
true.
around us. Even the best of us, like
But
Seth,
that's why
can be
Seth
corrupted.
had all those super powerful death spells because he was really evil.
Do you
Yeah.
think he was evil? I mean, I can accept that he was Dark Force, but evil?
Dark Force is the profound darkness.
Yeah,
it is the
well,
evil.
I mean, we're all profound darkness sometimes.
Yeah,
It's true.
especially
Especially
Vanessa.
me.
Whoa. Why Vanessa?
I don't know. Why don't you ask Vanessa?
Well, because I'm the sweetest on the surface, so that's how you know I'm the darkest inside.
So dark.
Ooh. Wake me
Can't
up
wake
inside.
Are we
So-
done with this stupid game yet?
Almost.
So he goes into Star Wars cave.
Star
Yeah,
Wars
we go
game.
we go get the Elsidian, and he has like a flashback to what I'm assuming are the previous Phantasy Star games.
Acid
Just 1 and
flashback?
2. He doesn't
Oh.
flash back to 3 because 3's happening concurrently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of flashbacks, and then Alice shows up and says some nice things and how their spirits are helping him.
Mhm.
And then he feels better.
Yeah. And he's
Yay.
like, I will fight
Yeah.
for
Pep
no
talk.
mission.
Yeah. And by the way, John, I've been perusing a wiki, and actually at this point we have to go back to Rykaros and go to the Anger Tower.
Oh, I don't remember that at all.
And so we have to go back. We have to go back to Rykaros now, and we have to enter the Anger Tower because we can only get into it with the sword.
Oh.
And
Did I skip this?
I think this might be optional.
Oh, gee. Yeah, I didn't do this at all. Okay,
I
sorry
did.
about that.
So actually, when you go to leave the Esper Mansion, you learn that there's been. Oh, maybe you don't learn this yet. Hold on, I'm going to talk about the Anger Tower really quick.
Did
Okay,
you make
yeah,
up
please
this
do.
tower?
So you go
Yeah.
back to
I
I
feel
did-
like
yeah.
there's some weird shit going on down here.
the Anger Tower is what I call my diary. It's what I write in when I get angry.
The Anger Tower is what you call your diarrhea?
Yeah.
That's a lot of diarrhea.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Oh, jeez. So we go back to Rykaros, and we can finally get in the Anger Tower, and it's at the very top of the tower. There's a boss, and gasp, the boss is Alice.
What?
Yeah, we have to
What?
fight her. Yeah,
Alex, the queen.
Wait, which Alice?
Alice, the dead lady,
Like Alice, which dead lady? Your
Alex?
friend?
the one who was in your party. Yeah.
What?
Alex.
I've never
Alice.
seen this. I have to go back and do this.
Yeah, so you fight Alice, and eventually you beat her. She's kind of tough. Eventually you beat her, and she turns into the guardian of that tower, who is like, I'll show you how to turn your anger into destructive power. Would you like to know how? And you say no, and she's like, okay, you can't be corrupted, and then teaches you I think the spell is called like Megid.
Megid, yeah.
Megid, yeah.
Okay.
And that's how
What
you
happens
learn
if you say
Megid.
yes?
Yeah, what happens if you say yes?
I don't know. I didn't say yes.
You get
Probably the game's
married.
like, you're actually evil, so game
If
over.
you say yes, you have to fight it
Probably.
before I
Oh,
give it to you.
Maybe.
Yes, that is.
It's probably like, okay, here you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'll teach you.
Good to know. All right, I'll have to do that. That sounds neat. Was it a fun little tower?
It was, yeah, and actually, it was really interesting getting to see Alice rendered, like the front of her body rendered,
Yeah.
instead of just like the back of her head.
Interesting. I bet you
What
were
sort of
really
magic does she
interested
use?
in that front of that body, huh?
Whoa. Whoa.
It was interesting, Vanessa.
Jim does have a thing
Was
for big
interesting.
80s hair.
I do.
Yeah,
The
he
Joan
does.
Jett volume.
So now we learn the real like thrust of the end game, which is there's been a big disaster on Matavia, and apparently some big hole has opened up in the ground, and everything around the hole is dying. It's a big black hole, and Rune surmises that the energy that's killing everything around the hole is a variation of the dark wave that killed Alice.
That wave of
Okay.
hate.
Yep.
Yes, pure hatred.
I went to Piata, the town of learning, and everyone was just freaking out about that big hole. They're like, are we going to die? Is this the end of the world? And then I was like, oh, I hope everyone in Mile's okay. So I went to Mile. Everybody's dead, Jim. Everybody.
Yeah,
Like,
the
our
hole is
friend-
right to the south of Mile.
Our friend, the sandworm ranch owner,
How?
that old lady who was trying to sweep the
Uh-huh.
sand back, totally dead.
What?
They're all dead.
No.
Why?
And when you look at the body of the Sandworm Ranch owner, Rika's like, oh, he had so many enterprising ideas.
He was an idea man.
And their bodies are kind of bloody, too. It's a little weird for... I was not expecting
Ooh.
that.
Gross.
Yeah.
Did they just die by
They
proximity?
exploded. Yeah, it's just that black wave, just like what killed
this is
Alice.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess faster, because they all
Oh.
died where they were standing.
All that hatred.
Pure hate.
Yeah.
So there's just this big gaping hole
Yeah, there
in the
is.
planet.
Mm-hmm. And so we go to, I guess when we're on our way to Matavia, is that where this happens? When you
At
run
the-
into all your buds?
On the way there and when you get there.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, okay.
you're
So
leaving
you're
Bazaars.
on your way there in the spaceport, and you're greeted by, I think it's Raja
Mm-hmm.
and who?
Kira.
And Kira.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we want to jump in with you, buds. And who's the other one? Is there another one
you
here,
all-
or is there 3 more in the next place?
I think the rest are at the other place.
Okay. They're like, hey, we want to help you. Let us come with you. And you say, okay. And you get to the next place where all the rest of the people are, where like Grizz and... to be honest, at this point, when all the party members were on the screen, I was like, who the fuck are these people? Because I
There's
did not
Demi,
remember half of
Han,
them.
Han?
Grizz.
Yeah, Han is there. I
Yeah,
miss
he's
Han.
finally back.
Yeah.
And he mentions that he's been training in the
Mhm.
meantime, so he's like, I'm not as much of a useless turd as I
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, everybody's got to the same level as you, and they all have upgraded abilities, so you can choose whoever you like. I would recommend choosing Raja.
I chose Han.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
And he chose
Aw.
Yeah.
I like Han.
So there's a little plot device here as to why you can only have 5 people to enter the profound darkness. When you did all those towers, you got rings. You got a ring for each of the planets, and then a ring for Rykros, and then one other ring.
A ring just
Oh,
cuz.
Algo.
Yeah.
And so each person can equip a ring. So all your 4 normal party members, and then you can give the ring to a 5th one, and that ring protects you in the profound darkness from the black wave. So that is why only 5 people can enter.
5 will enter. 5 will leave.
And I chose Raja because Raja has St. Elmo's Fire, which does tons of damage to evil.
St. Elmo's Fire.
And Raja has Atraxia, which restores 70 TP to everybody. And Raja has Miracle, which heals everyone, including the robots. And Raja has... Yeah, Miracle just is as good as a Stardew. So Raja basically is super powered. The first time I played through this game, I chose Grizz because I love Grizz. But it was really hard killing that last boss. But with Raja, it was literally easy. Like, it was not a hard fight at all. So I recommend Raja for the last part.
I recommend Han. Because he's a nice guy.
He is. He's a very pleasant dude.
And
Mm-hmm.
By the way, let's talk about the final battle, because there's really no lead up to it. You pick your party and you go in the hole and you fight the profound darkness.
Well, there's a dungeon. It's just like 4 rooms and a crazy swirling color background.
Oh, that's right.
There's no treasure or anything, so it's just a matter of getting through a dumb maze.
Another dumb maze.
And then you get there, and you're at the bottom, and then it's like, oh, hey, what's this blobby thing? It looks like a big thing of blobs with some teeth sticking out of it. Mm-hmm.
I like the designs of the profound darkness.
It's a 3-stage boss, as any good JRPG boss,
Of
final
course.
boss should be.
And with the
Yeah.
final form being some kind of angelic naked humanoid man.
Woman. Well, it has boobs.
It has boobs?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It has
I didn't even masturbate to it. No, I'm just kidding.
Vanessa, would you say the profound darkness had boobs?
Boots?
Boobs.
Oh, it does have boobs.
Yeah,
I
the
didn't even
third
notice.
form definitely has boobs.
Yeah.
I didn't
This
even
is
notice.
the most boobs on a boss we've seen since Primeval Eden, or
Which one?
Bart's
was
Tale.
that?
Parasite Eve.
Yeah, there are some giant boobs on those
Yeah.
bosses.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Big pregnant, like
Wasn't there
Those are
the
a big
biggest
boob
boobs.
boss in Persona?
yeah, big pregnant boobs.
Yeah, it's true.
Big pregnant boobs.
All right, let's. Stop
That's what
talking about
Matthew's
big-
typing into Pornhub right now. Big pregnant boobs.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Wasn't that what people found out from Ken Bone's search history and why
Ken
people stopped
Bone?
liking him
I
after
don't
he
want
was
to
at
think
the
about that
at the
bro.
debate?
Cute Ken Bone.
like? Apparently, he used the account that he used for the Reddit Ask Me Anything to also go on Big Pregnant Boobs Reddit forums as well, and people are just laughing about that because he had the same history and everything, and you can just see where he's posting.
Come on, Ken Bone.
It's okay if that's what you're into, but I don't want to know about it.
Yeah, man, that's what incognito
yeah,
mode
I
is
don't
for.
call Ken Bone and give
Get
him my
a
search
second
history.
account, Ken.
Yeah,
God.
come on, Ken Bone.
I have a second account. I accidentally messaged Julian
Oh no!
from Dirge About That from it.
And did he just kind of go with it?
I sent him one from my normal account and said, pretend that didn't happen.
And
So-
that's it.
That's it for Square
Yep.
Roots.
What'd you guys think of the fight with the Profound Darkness?
That was cool. I wondered why the ultimate source of evil was a woman,
Well,
but
I
this
mean,
was a game
was it a woman?
made by a lady.
It had crab leg wings.
I have crab
That's
like
true.
wings.
Just because it had
and
boobs does not a woman make.
So the ultimate evil becomes weird or more defined as you get through the weird tusks and
Ugh.
biomass bit, and then you get to like the crabby insect
Ugh.
monster bit, and then under that is lady. And
She has cool like green Goku fire hair
Yeah.
and
Yep.
crab leg wings. It's very strange.
I think
Yeah.
that's why I didn't notice the boobs, is because the hair was so animated. It was just distracting me.
You were so hard the whole time from them big old pregnant boobies.
Settle down, Ken.
It must have been very confusing to be so aroused and not understand the source of it. Like you subconsciously knew there
It was
were
very
breasts there,
confusing.
but you couldn't see them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kept pausing the game to look and wonder, but I just couldn't put my finger on it.
This was a tricky boss fight. But the only thing that happened was I forgot to go get more repair kits from that box you get in the weapon center, which just keeps
Mhm.
giving you free repair kits. I forgot to get any, so when Ren died,
Oh,
I couldn't bring him
no.
back.
Oh, bummer.
That was it. That was the one death I had in
Well,
the
he's a very
the thing.
useful
Otherwise, I
robot.
could bring everyone back.
Does
I
he
know.
then appear in the
I was-
final cutscenes, or is he dead forever?
Well, Ren always brings himself back. If you finish a fight with Ren dead, Ren becomes
Oh.
alive at the end of the fight.
Yeah, he
never
does.
noticed.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. You never let him die. He was
He
too important
is.
to
He's
you.
the dreamiest. I mean, second dreamiest after Seth.
Now, I kept using the Silver Tusk because that was the secret best
Mhm.
weapon in the game, aside from Elcidium. And so she was doing tons of damage. Everyone was using holy magic. Everyone was getting all their heals on. I used all my Stardews. Do not throw out
I
your
didn't know what they
Stardews.
did, so I threw them away.
They're very important. Jim looks concerned.
No.
Are you okay, Jim?
Mm-hmm. Just thinking about those big old pregnant boobs.
Would it be funny if that just thinking about those beans guy said that instead?
Think about those prego bobs.
So you defeat profound darkness and step outside, and the sky is blue and everything's nice.
Everybody's really happy.
Yay!
This is a very happy ending, by
Is
the
it?
way.
Chaz
Oh,
cries.
except like everything was collapsing around you, and then the sword explodes to save everybody. So Alice from Phantasy Star 1's like, I'm gonna help you all out. Here's my sword power.
The Elsidian. Ensidian. I already forgot the name of it. It bursts into like a shower of pretty stuff, and everybody's protected. By the way, I didn't understand that, because when you defeat the profound darkness, a time warp opens up, ? I kind of wanted them to get sucked into the time warp. Like, where are they going to go?
Well,
that
they
could be
just
a
have to take a
fun
step to
adventure.
the left.
And then it jumps to the right.
You have to put your hands on your hips.
And put your knees in tight.
You see, if you do a pelvic thrust,
It really drives you insane.
let's
Let's
defeat
do the
Dark
time
Force
warp
again.
I don't want to do Dark Force.
Oh, okay.
Good job,
Thanks.
guys.
So, Jim, they're all happy, but everyone's like, we got to go back to our respective planets. Raja's like, I had fun being on Motavia, but it's time for me to mosey on back to my little frozen planet.
And he's like, you're gonna miss my jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, okay, see you later, Raja.
And then Demi's like, Ren and I are going to bleep blorp on a space station together with Rika.
They're like, we have to go work on this space station until we are not needed in that job anymore.
And Rika's like, I should go with them. And well, she doesn't even say anything. She just waits
She
by
just
the
gets
ship.
onto
She's
the
too
ship,
cool.
yeah, and
She's just having a cigarette
yeah,
out by the ship.
I think that the boy robot says it's difficult for her to say goodbye.
Oh yeah. Well, remember when all the Muppets had to say goodbye in Muppets Take Manhattan, and it was like the saddest song?
It was.
It really was.
Aw.
And then Chaz seems pretty okay with all of this until Rune says that he is also going to go. And Chaz starts crying.
What a
Yep.
baby.
Well, Rune was like the big brother he never had.
Yeah, I guess.
There's a lot of talk in this game about people being each other's big brothers and big sisters.
Yeah, Kira says that when she gets on the spaceship. She's like, I'm like your all's big sister. And everyone's like, yeah, what's your name again?
And at
Who
one
are
point,
you?
she's like, Chaz, you're just like
Yeah.
my little brother.
Which,
And no one
let's
really knows
face
who
it,
she
that's
is.
just code for friend zone. She has friend zoned Chaz.
Yep.
Is friend zone a thing? Is it?
He deserves
Tell
it.
me about this friend
I
zone.
love you like a
concept
brother,
you have, Miss
Chaz.
Vanessa, because I feel like it's not real.
He saved her from
I-
those carnivorous trees, and so she owes him sex. I mean, that's just how
Whoa.
it works.
Oh,
no.
boy.
Vanessa.
Have we discussed friend zones on the show before?
We have not.
I do believe in the friend zone, John.
In what
I think
sense?
it's just someone's not interested in
I
you.
think that men
It's like a
that
place
can't
where you go
let
with your
go of
friends.
someone that is not interested in them friend zone
So,
themselves.
yeah.
Like stupid idiots.
That's true.
because people say put that on the lady, being like the lady put me in the friend zone, but isn't it like the lady wasn't interested and you're still trying?
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly what it
Okay.
is. Or even worse, it's the lady's not interested and I'm not trying anymore, but for some reason I'm hanging around and still like hanging on to hope, maybe?
Ew.
Kinda
I'm just
pathetic,
going to
really.
pretend to be a normal friend who's not interested in dating her and then get really upset when she doesn't date me.
I always thought the friend zone was like a cool place where you take your friends.
It sounds
to
like
be
a Dave and
friends.
Buster's or something.
Yeah.
That's the rec center.
Yeah, it's at the rec center.
Jim, let's just start out
Yeah.
Dave and Buster's competitor, call it the friend zone.
That's a
Where
great
you
idea.
go with
Copyright.
your friends at the friend zone. Could we have robot animals that sing?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only bears.
Well, maybe we can
Yeah.
partner with those Five Nights at Freddy's people. They're very popular.
It's true. It's true.
They can sing songs about big pregnant boobs.
Come on.
Got it on my mind now.
So yeah, Rune's like, well, Chaz is like, will I ever see you again, Rune? And Rune's like, probably not. you don't have a spaceship
Nobody
anymore.
cares about you,
Yeah.
Chaz.
Rune's like,
There's no more
nah.
spaceships left. You're done.
Who was it that says, somebody says, we were able to get free from the course of your
What?
curse.
Probably Raja.
Is it-
That sounds like Raja.
Oh, that's
Raja?
Sounds
true.
like Raja.
We were able to get free from the curse of your butt, is what I believe he was
Your butt?
trying to say.
Oh.
Oh.
So
That was
Yeah.
lost in translation.
So the
curse
spaceship's
of your
blasting off, and Rika's there
Wait, but-
with
Because
Ren.
we fought dark farts.
Rune can travel without
Dark
a
farts.
spaceship. Like, this has been established in the game. So,
Yeah, but Chaz is super annoying.
yeah, it's not that Rune can't come back. It's that he just does not want to come back.
Yeah.
No.
Would you?
No.
Mm-mm.
No. And also, Motavia sucks.
Hmm. Oh, and that owl just, like,
Yeah, that
goes
place is
home,
lame.
and Han goes back to the academy. And Han's like, yeah, I don't really like my coworkers, but I'm going back anyway.
So Rika gets in the ship with Ren and Demi, and they're about to blast off. And Ren's like, "Rika, you are making a difficult choice. This path will be hard." And then Rika's like, as the ship's blasting off away.
And he's like, Rika,
And then
you're our hope.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't quite get
But
that.
then, well, because she's like the new future,
Oh, yeah.
her new genetic code.
She is the...
Because she's a Newman.
What?
Yeah, she is.
What does that mean?
Basically, humanity's dying out, and she's like got a fresh genetic code that can improve humans and help them.
Yeah, only if she gets out there and starts breeding.
Oh, is that why she wants to
Mhm.
bone Chaz?
Well, yeah, there's the thing. So the ship blasts off and seems to be going out of the planet's atmosphere, but I guess they like pull a Yui,
Mm-hmm.
and then Rika's like opens the door and jumps out.
Yeah.
she like swan
And
dives.
Chaz is
Now,
like,
we haven't seen a
"Rika!"
character jump out of a flying vehicle since Daniel in Parasite Eve.
Yeah.
How do you think this compares?
Not very well, because Daniel lit himself on fire somehow while he was falling out of that helicopter.
Well, he got set on fire by being in such close proximity to
So-
Eve, and his mitochondria
Yeah,
set
and
him
then he
ablaze.
fell
Right.
into the salty sea. And then, or I guess the Hudson River. It's briny. And then he was fine.
Yeah.
I'm working on a grand like scheme of like JRPG metaphysics. We got a lot of like really weird shit here with like Necros and Dark Force and Sin. And what was at the end of Sin? What was Sin really?
Checked.
Jack.
So remember, there's that little ball you fight at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that last
His name
thing.
was
It's like the
Yavin.
reason-
Oh, Yevon.
Yevon.
That's right,
Yeah.
Yevon. It was God. Yeah.
What was that? Oh, Necros was Final Fantasy
Yeah,
IX,
I
right?
think Profound
Yeah.
Darkness is sort of the Necros of Phantasy Star.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, actually. I disagree.
Or is it more
Profound
Lavos?
Oh, Necron. That's his
'Cause-
name, Necron.
Darkness shows up 3 times. Dark Force shows up 3 times.
Yeah.
And Profound Darkness is just super Dark Force. So no, because Necron is weird because Necron comes out of fucking nowhere.
What about Lavos? I got a lot of Lavos vibes.
No, because Lavos is the whole impetus for the game. Again, Final Fantasy IX, Necron comes just straight up out of nowhere.
That's true.
That's
And
true.
that's why Final Fantasy IX is great.
I still think that the last game we do on this show should be Final Fantasy.
Why are
X.
you so preoccupied with ending this podcast?
Because I want to hear Vanessa's take on Final
Oh.
Fantasy IX.
We'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
We got time. Got all the time in the world. Now,
What if I-
so Rika
What
dives.
if I like have a heart attack
and
next
she
year?
run-
We gotta end the show.
Just take a baby aspirin,
Yeah.
calm down.
So Rika swan dives
your
and then
face.
hugs Chaz, and Chaz and Rika are gonna be pals forever.
They're definitely going to have a weird little android child like Krillin and Android 17.
I did not get the impression up until this point that they were particularly romantically interested in each other, but it's
Nope.
kind of like
Neither.
Nope.
they were the only ones left. So,
Yep.
okay.
I guess I'll take it.
All right.
Dun-dun-dun.
And everyone lived happily ever
Yay.
after, except for Seth, who's
Yeah.
dead.
And Alice.
And also Alice, who is dead twice.
Yep. And Alice is also dead.
The twice dead warrior.
Mm-hmm.
It's a better nickname than the 8-stroke warrior.
It's true. And that
The eight
was
stroke- I forgot
Fantasy
about
Star
that, the
4.
eight-stroke
We
warrior.
did it.
Is that a better name? Because twice dead implies that you have died and lost at least 2 fights.
So before
That's true. Well, you could have
Yeah,
choked
we're just
twice.
like
Before we-
natural
I mean, if you're like the
causes.
twice dead warrior, I'd be like, okay.
Well, yeah,
Well,
she-
then it
but-
sounds like I've got some good
I
chances.
think it's great because it implies that you've been resurrected.
Yep.
And who doesn't want to be resurrected?
Yeah, like that guy in Game of Thrones.
Before we get to
Spoilers.
the final segment,
Sir Beric Dondarrion, the lightning
That's right.
lord.
could I just talk about a couple of the
right.
hunts I did
Oh, please.
that I wanted to talk about last episode?
Mhm.
Because there's 2
Uh-huh.
fantastic ones. There's the one with a...
No, I like this. You do that while I read some Wolverine.
Okay. There
I'm teasing.
there was this one with a very sick boy who actually wasn't sick and was kind of faking.
What?
And yeah, he was very sick, but he wasn't really actually sick.
What?
Yeah, he was
What?
faking it.
Oh, that's right. That was stupid.
And the father's
that
like,
one.
I don't know, this kid's been sick, but it doesn't seem. The doctor says he's fine. And the only time he's been happy in the past couple of years is when we went to that tourist trap town that was obsessed with Alice. Maybe you could bring something back from there. So I got him like a wood carving and a pennant, and I gave it to the kid, and the kid's like, that's from... Oh, no, I gave him Alice's fake sword. And he's like, this is Alice's sword. And you're like, yeah, this is the real sword that Alice used, and you're going to be a hero just like she was. And he's like, wow. And then he like picks it up and starts swinging the sword real happy,
Mm-hmm.
and he's fine. And so we cured that kid.
Hooray. You know,
In the same
like mental
town-
maladies are real maladies.
It's true.
No.
The same town was having problems with their crops because the crops were being eaten by giant birds called rappies. And this guy's like, hey, I want you all to kill the king rappie because we're having a lot of problems with these things. So you go to the rappie farm or the rappie cave, and it's full of these birds, and you're killing all these birds, and you finally get to this giant big bird, this big fat rappie, and it's a boss fight, and it's kind of tricky, but you're about to kill it, and then the guy who hired you is like, hey, actually, could you not? And you're like, what? And he's like, well, this is kind of my fault because I was like feeding them, and they kept coming, and I kept feeding them more and more, and then I didn't realize how out of control they were getting, and they became a problem.
Mm.
But I don't want you to kill them. That's not fair. Just let them be.
That's a real lesson in not interfering with wildlife.
And the thing was that you had this reward that you're supposed to get from the quest, and he didn't give it to you because he didn't kill it.
Oh,
He never paid.
that's terrible, but the only reason you didn't kill it is because he told you not to.
Yep.
Oh, that guy's a cheat.
But did you also get? I forget if you talk. Did you talk about the 2 missing girls?
I don't think so. But before we do that, may I ask, who do you think is the real-life King Rappy? Would it be like Kanye or Common?
Is he a Tweety bird?
No, like the King Rappy, because he's a
No.
rapper.
Like, are they large? Oh.
Cisco.
Yeah, see, that was a good joke.
Biggie?
I'm King Rappy, and I'm here to say I love
Nope.
to rap
To
in
say
a
I
regal
Stop.
way.
Rap it
Nope.
in a major
Uh-uh.
way. A rip, rap, a rippy did a rap with a rap, rippy doo.
So
I'm the
these
king,
2
and I wear
girls,
my
these
crown.
sisters,
Ain't
are
no
missing from their
democracy
shopping
getting me
trip
down.
to Aido, and they're like,
You know, when I am in town,
they ran
I
away.
like to go with John and walk around.
They
That's
ran
a
away from
tight
their home
rhyme.
on this weird deserted island because the island is boring, and they wanted to go. And people were like, oh, they probably went shopping. So you go to Aido, and they're not in the big shopping center.
Mhm.
But do you remember Aido had a jail, and there's two girls
Yes.
in the jail that were like, "Let me out."
Uh-huh.
Well,
No?
the reward was like 80,000 meseta for this quest, and so you find them, and you're like, okay, well, these are the girls. I want to take them back to their town, and then the guard's like, yeah, their bail is 80,000 meseta, so you can let them out, and then you win the quest and get your reward of 80,000 meseta, and when you so you bring them home, and they're like, oh, we're real sorry about that. And you go get the quest, and then the quest giver lady's like, wow, this is such a big reward. Aren't you happy? 80,000 meseta? What's wrong? You don't seem to be as happy as I thought you'd be, because you didn't make any money from that quest either.
Aw.
Yeah, and that was the hunts. That was the other hunts.
I
They
like
were really fun.
those.
Yeah.
Very
Me
nice.
too.
We did it.
Mhm.
Yeah, we did it, everyone. That is the end of our Phantasy Star 4 series.
Oh
Hooray.
boy.
Hooray!
Hey.
Yay!
Next episode, we are going to begin our series on Grandia
Yeah.
from the PlayStation 1 era.
All right.
Yeah.
Grandia. That sounds like a Grandia idea.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look forward to all those
Oh
jokes.
boy.
Wait, what?
Do you want to give final roundly fours and squarely againsts about Phantasy Star 4 before we get there?
Final roundly force and square
Yeah.
against.
I will say that I am. I'll just go
Oh,
first.
yeah.
I'll say that I am roundly for Phantasy Star 4. I was actually kind of dreading this game because I've never played an RPG on the from the Genesis era before.
Chrono
But
Trigger.
I liked it a lot. The game. Well, then I wasn't on the I never played anything on the Genesis. I didn't have any exposure to the series at all, and I was kind of dreading it. But I actually really liked the game. I found the combat to be really fun, and the writing was weird. I didn't like all the made up names. I got really confused, but overall, it was a fun time.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go, which and I just want to say that I enjoyed the setting a lot, and I enjoyed the combat as well. There was a lot of streamlined, really modern design choices in there, like fast travel and vehicle combat, and that was all really cool. So this was definitely a wild experience for an RPG, but it did still come down to the same tired old, heroes defeats the whatever. That was a little, I kind of hoped for something at least a little different. And none of the characters were good at all. So this is a real mixed bag of a game. I would love to see a modern one of these that, has a plot that isn't stupid. And I guess that's it. So I'm roundly against this game. Anybody else want to talk about this? Or should
I
we just,
want to talk about it.
Normally we trade off. You say like Vanessa or John.
Jim, what did you think of this? Are you squarely against?
What game do we play?
We did Grandia.
Oh, squarely against.
Yeah, me too.
Vanessa.
Sorry, John.
Vanessa.
Vanessa, I mean.
Vanessa liked this game. I liked how bonkers it was. I liked the many different characters. I did not like Chaz, but when do we like a protagonist that we play as, really? Almost never. I liked Han very much. I liked Seth very much. I liked Alice, and I liked the way she took Han's wedding fund. Probably because she loved him.
I forgot about that.
And
That was good stuff.
yeah, I liked the giant penguins. I liked the cats. I think because I hadn't played the games before, it was even a little bit more bonkers than it might have otherwise been, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because you were not expecting giant
I
cats.
was not expecting giant cats. But yeah, I thought it was good.
In a major way.
In a average way. I don't think that I'll revisit it, probably because I don't have any nostalgia for it. But it was a perfectly serviceable, classic kind of JRPG. John.
I am roundly for the hunts in the game. I thought they were really fun and silly in a way that you don't get in a lot of older RPGs that added texture to the world. I wish there's more of them. There's only 8, I think. It sort of it fills out a lot of the details, and it was a lot of fun. I am squarely against the translation. It is very bad, and I think a lot of more dramatic moments in the story would have been served better with better writing. And I'm also squarely against the amount of random encounters in this game because it's bonkers.
Yeah, it was too much.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fight
Too
no
many.
mission.
And yeah, otherwise, I do love this game. It's interesting seeing it with, what would you say, cranky old eyes, and being like, I can see the flaws now, for
Yeah.
sure. Like the translation, and it's too grindy.
I'm
I still
cranky
enjoy it.
old eyes.
I think we had that voice before, Vanessa.
Oh. Well, I only have one old voice and one baby voice, and I guess they've been spoken for.
Mm-hmm. Cranky old eyes gets very horny sometimes.
Crikey! Cranky old eyes. Oh, British and not old.
Yeah, so Grandia. I've never
Just trying
played
to
it.
mix it up.
I'm going to be a little baby fresh eyes because I've never played Grandia
I'm
before.
also a
No.
little baby fresh
can't.
eye
Oh,
and
no.
never ever played
Jimmy,
this game.
help us. We never
I think
played
everyone's
this.
gonna be a little baby fresh eyes but
Oh,
me.
that makes
Tell
you
me
the
how great
daddy.
your voice. Oh, no.
Hey, Jim, we got an email.
Oh.
Did we?
Yeah.
Should we read
What's
it?
an email?
Nah, we're just gonna mention that we got one, and we're not gonna read it on the air.
All right. Yeah, suck it, everybody. Not gonna read that email.
I'm going to try
No,
to
I'll read
tighten
the
this
email.
up.
Unless you want to read the email.
I got it up right here. I'm going to try to tighten it up a little bit, though.
You get it up, dude.
Yeah.
This was from Pete K, who had very nice things to say. And he mentioned some of the DS content, some of the DS version content of Chrono Trigger, saying Vanessa did touch on the Lost Sanctum content of the DS version, which was the Pocket of Time, where you do all those fetch quests for a Reptite village, which I don't remember. But no one really said anything about the Dimensional Vortex that also opens up in the DS version. There are some pretty sweet dungeons, and you literally run into Dalton, and he mentions directly going to Poray? I don't remember what we called that thing.
Poor.
To try and raise an army, proving that theory.
Ooh.
Seems like the portal he got thrown into after that last fight in 12,000 BC threw him to 1080.
Oh.
One of the extra dungeons uses a previously unused song and lets you fight a palette-swapped Hecarim in a snowy environment,
Oh, that
echoing the
Hecarim.
game's cover art.
Oh, cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Hashtag not my Chrono Trigger.
And, appreciate the kind words, Pete, and we appreciate you writing in. And we also got a review!
Whoa.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Da, da, da,
John,
da,
you were supposed to have this. I thought, do I have to pull it up?
You told me about it while I was at work today, and I just got home. So, let's see. Is this from Pixel JA?
Yep.
Pixel JA
Pixel
gets
Pixel Jaw is how I always think of that. Maybe it's Pixel.
Me too.
he gets
Pixel, yeah.
a plus 100 not being Julian, because I thought he was Julian on our Discord group.
2 months.
Have you been talking to him as if he was like...
No, but I just assumed that he was Julian, but he is not. So thank you very much. Yeah, you get plus 100 not being Julian and plus 30 wearing pants.
Good work.
Great job.
You did it. Well, listeners, I hope that you look forward to another 100 episodes of this quality content.
Yeah. You're welcome, everyone. All right, everyone, just a reminder, like we said, next week we are beginning Grandia, so we're going to play from PARM, which is the beginning of the game, to New PARM.
Okay.
So if you're playing along, you can stop at New PARM.
That sounds like some kind of
Parm to
margarine.
Parmesan.
That's right, Gene Parmesan.
Is that it? Did we podcast?
Yeah, you gotta do the quick obligatory outro stuff. So I will remind everyone that as you learned this evening from the email that Matthew read earlier, we have an email address. It's squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Come see us at our Facebook group. It's the Square Roots Podcast group for smart, cool, very attractive people.
That might be yamail.com.
Or you can tweet at us. We are at Square Roots Pod. Our theme song for this series is by Sharp Brain Music. Check out their YouTube for tons of awesome video game covers. Link in the show notes.
Please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts. If you screenshot your review and post it on the Facebook group or Twitter, I'll tell you how you leveled up.
He might tell you how you leveled up even if you don't.
Well, I'm a wild and crazy guy. And just things happen.
Right. Good
But
job,
yeah,
everyone.
seriously,
Happy 100th
yeah, thanks
episode.
everybody for the support, and it's been really cool. And I hope to do 100 more, and then more. And I hope you guys are enjoying our output, and certainly let us know and tell all your friends about us, because that's the way we grow.
That's the way we grow.
That's right.
Exactly.
All right, everyone. For Square Roots, I have big pregnant boobs.
Aw. I think you still have to say your name, Jim.
Oh.
For Square Roots, I'm Jim Banks.
And I'm Big Pixel Boobs.
That's a little bit better. At least those don't sound painful. I mean...
A.K.A. Matthew Van Zant.
I'm John Brandon.
John Big Boobs
No.
Brandon.
Don't body shame John.
Yeah. Besides, he's got those suspenders on.
They're keeping everything tamped down.
Yep.
And I'm Vanessa.
Suspenders. The man's bra.
Suspenders keep your pants up, not your boobs aloft.
Same diff.
I'm Vanessa.
You guys don't have your pants underneath your man boobs like me. Sorry,
Oh,
Vanessa.
go ahead, Vanessa.
And I'm Vanessa.
Yay!
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Centennial, bye.
100 episodes. Wow.
That's a big accomplishment. Last time on Square Roots.
There is a castle in the...
What the shit? My Alexa
no.
just went off.
That was a very good introduction. Moving on.